Morning, ma'am. We are team two, and our topic is motivational theories and the comparison of those theories and how we use these theories in an organization. And myself, Danusha, I'll be talking about the McClelland's theory, comparing the McClelland's theory with Broom's theory. Yeah. So McClelland's theory, basically these two theories defines the motivations of how an employee gets motivated. So first is McClelland's theory. McClelland's theory basically focuses on the needs, while the Vroom's theory focuses on the expectancy theory, that is a reward system, and both explains what drives people to work and how they choose their effort and levels. So first is McClelland's theory of needs, that is developed by David McClelland. It focuses on major three needs, that is need for achievement, need for power, and need for affiliation. So in need for achievement, it basically describes how an employee by his own interest how his own interest motivates him to work, such as like when they have interest towards the job, they want to get better at it. So that comes from inner self, that is the need for achievement. And need for power, an employee who works for an achievement, an employee who works for power over the organization, who wants to control others. So that is another drive or motivation. And need for affiliation is need for friendly relationship and belongings. And basically this whole thing defines these things define motivation depends on which of these need is dominant in it. So McClellan basically defines that one of this one of these needs will be dominant in an individual, that is his theory of needs. And next is Vroom's theory. Vroom's theory is proposed by Victor Vroom, and according to him, motivation is different, again defined on these three characteristics, that is expectancy, instrumentality, and valiance. So expectancy is belief that the effort leads to performance. So he describes that the effort comes for a better motivation. So this comes from an inner self, on like based on their interest towards a job role. And instrumentality, in this basically it defines the reward system, like how an employee works for incentives and all that. So he defines that performance or motivation comes performance gets better because of the reward system. And valiance is again, that is again a value, that is again a reward based system. So his formula is basically motivation is equal to expectancy into instrumentality and valiance. So that is Broom's theory. And comparison of this is McClelland's theory, it focuses on the inner needs and drives. So as I said before, McClelland's theory, it basically defines that the individual drive towards the job, towards the role. So that is a basic need which gives them the motivation. And Bloom's theory, it is cognitive process. And approach wise, this is content theory, what motivates. And Bloom's theory, process theory, and how the motivation occurs. It defines basically how the motivation occurs. And key concepts, as I've explained before, that is achievement, power, and affiliation. And Bloom's theory is expectancy, instrumentality, and valiance. Bloom's basically defines the reward system. That is his like major core concept. And the application of these will be identified. These McClelland's theory is mostly identified in the leadership roles and job fits, while Bloom's theory is performance management and reward system. And conclusion is both of these theories explains what motivates an individual, what makes him to be better at a job, what makes him perform well. And Bloom's theory explains that, and McClelland's theory explains that, and Bloom's theory explains how motivation occurs through expectation and reward. It focuses majorly on rewards, and together they help the managers understand how they improve employees' motivation effectively. So thank you, ma'am.
Hello everyone, my name is Astha and today I am going to explain Hertzberg two-factor theory of motivation. So this theory was explained by Friedrich Hertzberg in 1959 and it explained what make people satisfied and dissatisfied with their job. So Hertzberg found that the thing which make employees satisfied are not the same as the thing that make them dissatisfied. In simple word, if you remove what make people unhappy, it doesn't mean they will become happy. They just stop being unhappy. To make them truly motivate, something positive must be added. So he divided this factor into two groups. First one is motivators and hygiene factor. So motivators are things that actually make people feel happy and satisfied with their job. This include achievement, recognition, responsibility, growth, and the work itself. On the other hand, hygiene factor are things that prevent dissatisfaction. This include salary, company policy, working condition, supervision, and job security. If this hygiene factor are missing, people feel upset. But even if they are good, they do not create real motivation. So for example, if an employee get a job, good salary, and work in a nice office, they will not complain. But that doesn't mean they are motivated. But when they are recognized for their work or giving more responsibility, they feel proud and motivated to do even better. So, in the workplace, managers should take care of hygiene factor like fair pay, good policy, and safe environment. After that, they should focus on motivators such as appreciation, growth, and opportunity for development to truly increase satisfaction in performance. So, Hertzberg two factor theory tells us that real motivation doesn't come from removing dissatisfaction, so it's come from adding satisfaction through recognition, achievement, and meaningful work. Thank you.
Hello, I'll be talking about the application of Maslow's hierarchy of needs in an organization. The first is the physiological needs. Here, the organization provides fair salaries and wages to meet employees' basic needs, and we provide comfortable working environment, which includes air conditioning, comfortable resting areas, and canteens. Examples of these are Amazon and Toyota ensure proper rest breaks, wages, and healthy work conditions. The next is the safety needs. Safety needs can be satisfied through job securities. When we have long-term contracts, the job is secured, which makes the employee stress-free about losing their job. The next comes safety and healthy work environments. Example, Shell and Caterpillar invest in safety training and protective equipment. Since these two industries are into manufacturing, they make sure that the employees have enough physical gear to protect themselves from any uncertainties. Next is social belonging needs. Here, we encourage teamwork, collaboration, and a sense of community. When we organize team building activities and social events, the employees have a chance to network and communicate with their team, and this improves the bond between the employees, which will result in greater performance towards the organization. The next is esteem needs. This includes recognizing and rewarding an employee's achievements. Example, IBM and Microsoft run Employee of the Month. Here, during the Employee of the Month, the Employee of the Month gets a bonus. So this is a factor that motivates the employees to work harder, and their self-esteem is met because they are being appreciated. The next is self-actualization needs. Here, we offer opportunities for personal growth and creativity. We provide learning, innovation, and career development programs. Example being 3M and Apple encourage innovation and allow employees to work on personal projects. So this is all about Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory and how it is applied in an organization. The next is application of Heisenberg's two-factor theory in an organization. As we all know, these two factors are the hygiene factors and the motivational factors. Though the presence of these factors are not directly visible in the performance of the employees, the absence of these two factors will gravely affect on the performance of the employees. Thus, the importance of these two factors is very visible. The next, we have hygiene factors. Hygiene factors prevent dissatisfaction, whereas motivational factors increase satisfaction and motivation. Why are these important? Why is the hygiene factors important? Is because it helps the company come up with fair policies and supportive supervision, and we will also be able to come up with job security and work-life balances. Example: Unilever and Procter and Gamble focus on benefits, fair treatment, and job stability. Whereas an example for motivational factors is Google offers autonomy, recognition, and learning opportunities for the employees. This also provides job enrichment because the employees are able to learn while working. Now we'll see the summarized points. Maslow's theory helps organization design motivation system based on the human needs of hierarchy. Then Heisenberg's theory helps differentiate between factors that cause dissatisfaction and those that truly motivate employees. So this is all about the application of the two theories in an organization. Thank you.
I'm going to talk about the application of theories. First one is McClelland's theory, and the first component of that is need for achievement. And so this is when employees are motivated by a high need for achievement, and they're motivated by any kind of challenging goals or clear feedback. So this can be applied by giving them any kind of target-based projects, individual recognition for what they're doing, and let them lead any kind of innovative tasks. So they can be put into the sales and marketing departments where they will have to actually come up with something innovative. And the next component of that is need for power, and this is when people are they are motivated by letting to influence, to lead, and make an impact in the organization. So these people, they must be given any kind of leadership role or managerial roles, and they must be given the power of decision making, delegate roles for them to decision making, and also let them mentor any kind of junior employees, and they can be put as the project managers or any kind of team leaders. And then there is need for affiliation, and so this is when employees are motivated by any kind of relationships or teamwork or a sense of belonging to the organization, and interpersonal relationship is a key factor in this, and this can be brought by putting them in any kind of collaborative or team-based tasks, and they can be put under the HR department for any kind of customer relationship roles. And then there is the Adolphus ERG theory, and for that there are also three factors. First one is the existence needs. Now the existence needs are basically basic needs such as salary, job security, and work environment. So this can be applied by giving the employees fair pay for the work they're doing, providing them a safe environment for actually doing their work with water and hygiene and safety, and then providing them any kind of health benefits such as regular health checkups, etc. And the next need is the relatedness needs, and this is basically a relationship and any kind of social connections. So basically managers can encourage teamwork and any kind of open communication, give employees collaborative projects, hold any kind of regular meetings and proper social gatherings to motivate the employees. And then the next one that comes in is the growth needs. The growth needs are basically the personal development, learning, and needs in achieving one's own potential. And so for this, the employees can be provided with training programs, any kind of career advancement programs, and also the employees can be given challenging work that will actually allow them to use their skills as well as grow more skills which are required for the organization.
Hi, my name is Ziza George. Today I am going to present McClelland's theory of needs. Introduction. It is developed by David McClelland in 1961. It focuses on three key motivational needs that drive human behavior. Explains how individuals' needs influence their workplace performance and behavior based on learned needs rather than innate drives. The three needs in this theory are need for achievement, need for power, and need for affiliation. Need for achievement. Desire to excel and achieve challenging goals, prefer tasks with moderate risk and personal responsibility. Need for power. Desire to influence, control, or have authority over others, can be personal or institutional. Need for affiliation. Desire for friendly and close relationships, seek approval, avoid conflict, and work well in teams. Need for achievement. Individuals with high need for achievement set challenging but achievable goals. They take personal responsibility for outcomes and seek feedback. Prefer tasks that involve skill and effort, not luck. Motivated by accomplishment, not necessarily monetary reward. Other often thrive in an entrepreneurial or project based roles. Need for power. Strong desire to influence and control others. There are two types: personal power and institutional power. Effective leaders often display high institutional power. Need for affiliation. Seek harmony and avoid conflict, motivated by social approval and relationships, best suited for roles involving teamwork, communication, and collaboration. Application in the workplace. Managers identify dominant needs to motivate employees, assign challenging tasks with feedback, give leadership or decision making roles, involved in teamwork and collaborative projects, used in training, leadership development, and HR management. Conclusion. McClelland's theory helps understand why people behave differently at work. Motivation is shaped by experience and learning, not just biology. Balancing all three needs leads to effective performance and satisfaction. What drives people is what defines how they succeed. Thank you.
I'm Manas Gowda, 25 MBA A42. Now, I'll be speaking on the Maslow's hierarchy of need theory and Herzberg's two-factor theory. Maslow's hierarchy of need theory was founded by Abraham Maslow in 1943, whereas Herzberg's two-factor theory was founded by Frederick Herzberg in 1959. The core idea of Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory arises from the fulfillment of a series of human needs arranged in a hierarchy, whereas Herzberg's two-factor theory is the motivation of set of factors. The type of theory focuses on what motivates people, whereas in Herzberg's two-factor theory, it focuses on satisfaction and dissatisfaction. The key concepts in needs theory are safety, social esteem, and self-actualization. In two-factor theory, the key concepts are hygiene, salary, company policy, working conditions, supervision. The needs theory focus on overall human needs and personal growth, whereas in two-factor theory, it focuses on work environment and job satisfaction. Once a lower level need is fulfilled, it no longer motivates. The next higher need becomes dominant. In two-factor theory, the satisfaction and dissatisfaction are separate. Removing dissatisfaction doesn't create satisfaction. Application in workplace, managers must ensure basic needs before focusing on higher needs. The two-factor theory focuses to prevent dissatisfaction and to increase the motivation. Criticism in Maslow's hierarchy needs theory says not all individuals follow the same hierarchy. Here, in two-factor theory, it overlaps between hygiene and motivator factors. Outcome: motivation increases progressively as higher needs are satisfied. In two-factor theory, job satisfaction and dissatisfaction are independent. Both must be managed. Thank you.